Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mr. Movies podcast.
The podcast that you have been waiting for, specifically the episode you have been
This
waiting for.
should have a warning in front of it.
There's
Um,
gonna be there's gonna be some conversation, there's gonna be some discourse, there's gonna be some magic.
are all of those guaranteed?
I think so. I think we're gonna have to do it. And if you want to feel the magic even more, like this video, okay? All right, subscribe.
Fine, I will.
And I watched 11 things this month.
God damn, that's a lot. And I
What
think I
about
have
you?
you. I think I have you beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Hey, I'm proud of you. I guess
This
this
is
means
going to be a
it lasts.
3-hour
This
episode.
is going to be the longest episode ever, but it's going to be worth it.
Man, all right. Well, everyone get cozy because we're not going anywhere for a
The
while.
December Spectacular, baby, and you're Duncan. Take us away.
All right. I watched, I think we've already talked about this, but I can't remember. It's behind you. Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, I had to grab a coaster for my cup real quick because that sucker was dripping. Yes, is this was this your first time watching Last Night in Soho?
It was.
What are your thoughts?
I I thought the trailer was a little misleading
Mm-hmm.
in a good way. I feel like I like it when they don't explain exactly how something works. But I felt like this somehow needed like a bit more. I loved it. I this movie is engrossing. I It's beautiful as hell, like the
Oh yeah.
choreography, and it's it feels so
The
vibrant and
shot with the
alive.
sheet when she throws the sheet over her. Oh my God.
The way the two characters have to like merge between each other. I think I've seen footage of them like ducking behind cameras and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that takes a lot of talent.
Yeah. I mean, this movie is definitely very rehearsed, very choreographed, and it shows. There's not a lot of movies like this, and I really I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good
Um,
pick for a poster behind you.
and the soundtrack slaps.
Yes, it does.
The
Very,
soundtrack slaps.
very jazzy, very
I
groovy.
knew from the opening scene, I was like, this is cinema. This is Martin Scorsese would he'd shed a tear, Duncan. He'd shed a tear.
Why would he cry to Last Night
Because
at
it's beautiful,
Soho?
because it's cinema, and that's
All
what he
right,
loves.
your turn.
Um, oh gosh, where to even begin? Well, you know what? Let's start. I watched the movie Bullet Train with Brad Pitt.
That's on my list too.
I'm just gonna get this right off the bat. I did not enjoy this movie. I definitely see why a lot of people did, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, it. I thought the movie was impressive in terms of delivery, like line
Yeah,
delivery. The actors obviously had to work pretty hard at, saying all of that dialogue at pace with the movie. Um, this is just kind of like a movie where you have to like go into it knowing that you're gonna check out at some point.
yeah. I honestly, there was a point in this movie where I was like, okay, everything's wrapping itself up, and then I just clicked the button to see how much was left, and there was an hour left, and I was like, how?
It tries
Um,
to like misdirect you, but way too early.
yeah, the movie definitely tries to like one up itself.
There's like a quadruple double agent that like I
Yeah,
completely lost track of. But like the movie tricked me into thinking I was having a lot of fun. But
I would say I had fun watching it, but I wouldn't
when you
revisit.
think about it, you're like, that wasn't really that great. It's like eating a corn dog at the county fair. Like in
It's
the
like,
moment
yeah,
you're in it, but then like the stomach
you
ache kind
feel
of
the
reminds
state
you.
spirit inside you, but then afterwards it's just grease.
There you go.
Um, yeah, so that's all I have to say on Bullet Train. Duncan, take us away. Oh my gosh, you're the
All
leading
right.
man in this episode.
I watched Operation Christmas Drop.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't blame you. If you do know what it is, I'd be worried. this is one of those terrible movies
Oh
that
boy.
we sought out knowing it was terrible. The plot of this movie is it's about the military. And you know those islands where US soldiers are stationed and like they shouldn't be there, but like they have a huge like compound. This movie is about one guy trying to get them like Christmas presents. And
Is this a
it's all
Netflix original?
I don't know, probably not. But it's a romantic comedy. So like a bureaucratic like senator type woman comes in and is trying to oversee how they can cut costs. She finds out that this one soldier has been obsessed with getting Christmas delivered to the island. And the whole movie is anti-Christmas and pro-military.
Oh dang.
And
How does that work?
it's kind of hard to balance.
Yeah.
Because not once do they go, why are we here and
That's not even
teach
tough to balance. That's just tough to sell in general.
right. And there's like native people on the island. And it's like, why are we forcing Christmas onto them? And the soldiers like, they love it. And it's like in order for this movie to happen, you have to ignore a lot of stuff. And I think it
Yeah.
was made for a very specific audience.
And what's that?
Army wives.
Army wives. Okay. Do you think the Army wives would like it?
Yes. If you want
Okay.
a cheesy, poorly made, predictable, pro military like Christmas movie, there it is.
What could be better? You know what, Duncan? You've inspired me to talk about a Christmas movie now that I watched.
What makes sense? It was December.
It was December. Didn't watch. I did watch it this month, but I didn't write it down because I think I've talked about it before. I I would just like to say, Fred Claus is a flawless movie and a masterful piece of cinema.
Right? Is that's with Vince Vaughn,
Vince
right?
Vaughn is Santa's brother. Santa's played by Paul Giamatti. It's a Christmas classic, and I watch it every year. It's my favorite.
I can't. I know I've seen it, but I can't like muster the
What
memory of
happened to your finger?
nothing.
What happened to your finger?
Nothing happened to my
Did you
finger.
break it? I broke a finger and I had to wear
Oh, look,
this.
it's totally fine. No, I chipped a nail real bad and I have this cover on for it to heal in privacy.
You broke your finger.
I didn't break the finger. The nail just chipped too
No,
high.
Duncan, I've had to wear that before. You broke a finger.
It's not like it's removable. It's not like a
Oh, okay.
cast.
Never mind. Never mind.
Ow. It got caught on the nail.
Oh,
All
gee.
right.
Um, oh yeah. I watched the David Harbour Santa film, Violent Night.
Oh.
And I Universal Pictures, specifically within the next like 2 episodes I'm going to talk about, we're just releasing banger after banger of violent over the top movies, and they all slapped so hard.
Huh.
And I just
Hell.
want to give them credit for that. And they need to make more. I'm talking Violent Night. I'm talking Megan. I think they did Cocaine Bear as well. Just all bangers, all certified hits,
Is
classic.
was this one on Peacock?
I think this one is now streaming on the Peacock.
I think I know that. Oh my god, because we don't have the paid version, so we see ads. And
Yeah,
I saw the ad for Violent Night 1,000 times to
yeah.
the point where I told myself, not this year. I'm watching
No,
it next year.
yeah. It's good. It's definitely worth a watch.
Is it
John
just
Leguizamo is the villain. He's
uh-huh.
fantastic. Everyone in this movie's just eating it up. David Harbour's having the time of his life. Any creative Christmas decoration that you can think of is used to kill a man in this movie, and it is spectacular. It is glorious. It is over the top. I had a good time in the theater watching this. I had a big smile on my face. Nothing could stop me. Nothing could bring me down. Um, and that's my thoughts on Violent Night. I don't have much to say. I mean, it's just such a great Christmas movie. I was just like, obviously, don't watch it with the kids. Have them watch Fred Claus instead. But if you're feeling if you want something with some edge and a lot of heart,
Hmm.
give it a go. Give it a go.
And let me get this straight. You have not seen any John Wick film.
I have not.
All right, that just speaks for itself.
In what way? In what way? I feel like you're throwing some shade at me.
You aren't watching the movies that created that genre. Like
I don't think John Wick created that genre. I
John Wick, it molded a very
reinvented.
specific genre of like like I would say nobody is inspired from it. Bullet
Yeah,
Train a little bit, Violent Night. It's it's like violence for the sake of violence, but not stupid.
yeah.
You have to watch the John Wick
I will
movies.
watch John Wick eventually. I did see a clip from the new one where Keanu Reeves gets thrown on a staircase and was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
You get I'm oh, I almost spoiled the third movie. Never mind. But he goes down worse than that.
I'll make you even more mad. I own all three. I own all three John Wicks and I've never seen them.
How? Just by Blu-ray?
Yeah,
So they're behind you right now and you could just go watch it?
I could. Yeah.
I can think of a certain movie with a very long runtime that we're going to talk about soon that you could have watched all of the John Wicks if you had
Well,
missed one viewing.
Duncan, I got to, I'm saving it. I'm
I
saving it.
know
I got
you
to savor
are.
the flavor.
Oh
Um,
Christ, you.
what did you watch?
Okay, so I watched all 4 seasons of Fargo.
Oh, Ewan McGregor is in one of those.
He sure
I
is.
love that man. That's all. He's right there on my wall. But
So this was one of those months where not a whole lot was going on. So I sat down and watched 4 complete seasons of a TV show. Um,
listen, you got to do what you got to do.
if you've seen the Fargo movie, then you will absolutely register with seasons 1 and 3. Other than that, this show is bonkers. Like because Fargo, the appeal is that it's very boring people, it's very boring crime, but it's personal. That's the movie. Like it's very, very good movie. This show tries to make every character be indispensable, which is different from us not caring about them.
Yeah.
And I just got to complain about this. Every season has one supernatural horror thing,
Okay.
and they're never explained. Like in every season, there's one very, like, you can't miss it. Like it's a UFO.
Oh, dang.
Like
Just randomly?
two characters are in a fist fight, and then like a beam shines on them. They look up and it's a UFO. And then in the next scene, like they're just fighting again, and it's never explained. Like I feel like the show is trying to say something, but like it,
Yeah, that's bizarre. Do you recommend watching it?
hell no. Well, okay, if you like, I guess
I've
look
heard nothing
further.
but good things. I'm surprised.
Every season is so different from each other. I would recommend you watch the Ewan McGregor season because he plays 2 characters and the dynamics in that one is very good. Um, and there are some clever things where like one character from season 1 will like make an appearance in season 3. And so if you want to invest yourself, I would recommend it, but it's a lot and there's not a lot in it.
Okay. I might give it a go. I might give it the old college try. I haven't been wanting to watch it, so we will see. Um, I watched a movie, a Netflix original movie that was pretty good. I had a pretty good time watching this, and I'd recommend it. It's called The Good Nurse, and it stars Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne.
The good nurse. Okay. As opposed to like what? The bad nurse?
Well, Jessica Chastain is the good nurse. Eddie Redmayne is he's
Is
killing
he
patients
that's pretty bad at
and but
nursing.
making it look like they died naturally.
Oh, one of those.
And Jessica Chastain, she ain't about it. She's going to stop the son of a gun.
That happens
This
in Fargo too.
Okay, well, this movie was really good at building tension. It had me on the edge of my seat. I was excited. I felt exhilarated. Um, and just some stellar kick booty performances, okay?
Those are two very talented actors.
Yes.
I can assume you can give them a pretty terrible script and they'd make it impressive. So if the movie's well put together, then it sounds unstoppable.
Yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. I think it was like supposed to be an Oscar season movie, but it never really caught on for that.
Gotcha.
But
So very, very dramatic.
yeah, nonetheless a good film. Check it out.
Hmm.
I highly recommend. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. But
All right. It sounds intriguing at the very least.
Duncan, I feel like we just know what we're waiting for. But
We do. We
I
have
know.
so much time before we get there, but
No,
I
I'm so
know.
excited. What did
I
you watch, Duncan?
Oh my god, you little tease. I watched The Muppet Christmas Carol for the first time.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. How'd it go?
This movie was goddamn delightful. I
You're a
love
man
it.
now.
I'm gonna watch it every year.
Yeah, it's good.
I
Have you
think there
watched
should
the
be
Muppets Take Manhattan?
I this is the first Muppet movie I've seen.
Oh, you got to watch the Muppets Take Manhattan. I am such a big fan of the 2014, I think it was, no, 2012, the Muppets movie that was made by Disney. And they won an Academy Award for Best Original Song for the song Man or Muppet. I'm a man, I'm a Muppet. So
Yeah,
good,
I've
so
heard
good.
that one.
It's such a banger movie. You got to watch it. I also highly recommend ABC for one season had a Muppet sitcom that is shot in
Right.
the style of The Office. There is an episode where Kermit gets jealous because him and Mrs. Piggy are on a break, and she starts dating Josh Groban. And at one point, Kermit's jealous, and he goes up to the Swedish chef, and he goes, "Hey, have you seen Miss Piggy?" And he goes, "Oh, she's with Josh Groban. Yeah, he's cooking the bacon." That's the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. I remember watching that, and I fell to the floor, Duncan. I was dying.
Oh.
It's good. It's so good. It's on
I
Disney
mean,
Plus.
I've already been inspired to seek out anything Muppet related.
So good.
As a kid, I watched like a few episodes of the real show, and just those. What a character! What a cast! Like a fake SNL with puppets
Yeah.
is
The
such a
the
good
movie
idea.
Disney did, I think it was 2012, is so good. It's so good. I cannot recommend it enough. That is the first thing I watched when I got a Disney Plus subscription.
Wow.
No, I
I
watched The
think
Mandalorian first, but that was the first movie and then I
I
watched
think
Bambi for the first time
I
too.
don't know what order you're supposed to see them in, but I think Muppets
Just
Treasure
watch them, you
Island.
celebrate them, and you're happy they exist,
I
Duncan.
think Treasure Island is next for me.
Never seen it. Um,
Your turn. You go.
I watched, I watched. Oh my gosh. I watched the Banshees of Inisherin.
Ooh, so did I.
What did you think?
I think the first half of the movie, I was getting annoyed with the characters
Mhm.
because very little was happening and I didn't
Yeah.
see like why the big deal. But in the second half of the movie, like I got it. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit. And
This
like,
movie didn't resonate with me the way it is with everyone else. Like I still really appreciated it. I appreciated just like how it's focused on a friendship. It's not a it could have so easily been like a romantic relationship, but it's just two pals and they're headed
yeah.
in separate directions in life. And it's like it just felt I don't know, it was nice. It was refreshing to see that.
Yeah, it was definitely not the dynamic you usually see in anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's the real selling point of the movie. It's just very simple but bizarre. Like I don't it's really good. I would recommend it to anybody.
I would too. I would too. Yeah, I don't have much to say. Again, another Oscar movie. I believe it's streaming on HBO, so get
It's pretty
you
damn
want to
good.
watch it. Yeah,
I
it's
will
good.
say turn on subtitles because oh boy, I I don't know what them crazy kooks are saying.
Oh my lord. Um, I enjoyed it. There's a mosquito in my apartment, so if you see me waving,
Aw, you have a roommate.
um, Duncan, what did you
Oh
watch?
right. Um, all right, we've already talked about it, but Glass Onion,
So good, so good.
so good, solid
I
movie.
Ryan, keep doing what you're doing.
Ryan, you're on a first name basis. Oh my god,
I did meet Ryan Johnson.
you met him.
He came to our school.
What was he promoting?
The first Knives Out.
That went over my head. I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, because I remember that he did a Q&A and he left, everyone clapped, and then as he was like still leaving, and as the clapping was dying down, someone yelled out, Ryan, I loved The Last Jedi, and then everyone blew up like, yeah, it was a great
And
moment.
was that someone you? Is that the point
I
we're
was one
getting?
of them. I was one of them because I do love The Last Jedi, but
Yeah, it's Ryan Johnson is just what a
he is
five-star
the guy.
man. He's
He's
pretty
so
cool.
good.
He's my last Jedi.
He is the Last Jedi. Um, Duncan, anything else? What else did you watch? Let's.
Um, I watched The Green Knight again.
Oh, yeah.
It's confusing, but kind of intriguing.
It's beautiful. It's well shot. It's a gorgeous film.
Black Adam.
Oh boy.
I watched Black Adam,
It's about
and we
drive.
touched we
It's
touched on
about
this.
power. We
That's
stay
so
hungry, we
outdated.
devour.
That's so outdated. It's gonna be even more outdated by the time this comes out.
Um, did you smell what The Rock was cooking?
I hope that wasn't cooked. I saw ingredients. I didn't see any meal. I
Listen, you can't say the man false advertised that movie.
no, I can.
No, you can't. He said the hierarchy of power in the DC universe was never going to be the same.
And
The
then it
movie came
never
out 2 weeks
was.
later. They canned the whole universe.
Are- what was the thing? Like he just got in like trouble for saying he could like beat Shazam. Like Zachary
Oh, there's a
Levi
lot
was
of drama with that whole Shazam thing, but there was a lot of stuff. So apparently they had already hired James Gunn to write and reboot Superman when they announced that Henry Cavill was coming back as Superman. So that's rough.
yeah.
Um, it's kind of not nice to insult your audience by, hey, we're bringing Henry Cavill back just so you could drive up ticket sales. And
And
then,
then
yeah, poor Henry Cavill. I love that man.
he seems like he really cares about that character. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
disappointing to see how they've treated him.
And Zacky Snacky. You know I love me some Zacky Snacky.
We'll always have that 4 hour black and white square movie.
So good. Did you ever watch the Snyder Cut?
Oh, I watched it. Yeah.
Duncan, did you
We
watch?
have a whole episode about it.
We do? No, I
Yes,
don't think
we
we. The Snyder Cut.
the Snyder cut.
We have a whole episode talking about DC fandom. I'm
Yeah,
looking this up.
we
I
both
don't think we.
exist.
I don't think.
Literally, I put a Ben Affleck meme on the cover. It's so obvious.
No, let's see. Mr. Movies podcast.
Hey everyone, do what Frank is doing and go check out the Mr. Movies podcast main page on YouTube where you can
Holy
subscribe.
cannoli! We really episode 26. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Cinema was oh my gosh. I remember watching that with the fam. And I told them, I said, you make a peep during this, you're all dead to me. And it was such a nice
That's
movie.
such a you thing to say word for word to your family.
I was just listen.
Like,
You know what, Duncan, since we're talking about anything else on Black Adam?
I mean, God, what I just it's kind of like the final fart of a dying animal where it's just kind of like you can't keep making Iron Man 1,000 times but throw the Avengers in halfway through. I'm really hopeful that whatever DC does, it treats its fans much better because I watched this to waste time and I was successful.
Well, Duncan, DC ain't all bad, baby. They ain't all bad.
Sure. Where are we
And
going with this?
you know why they ain't all bad, baby?
Why?
Because December saw the conclusion of season 3 of DC's Stargirl.
Oh yeah, Stargirl.
And unfortunately, with the merger, um,
Was
and this is not
Stargirl
be people
affected?
thought, they had to unfortunately end. This had to be the final season of Stargirl.
Oh no.
Um,
It's just done then, right?
it's over, and it breaks my heart because season 3. First of all, you can't convince me they didn't know season 3 was going to be the final season because they threw it all. They threw it all. They said, "This is what we've set up, baby." And you know what? Boom, it's all right here.
They
It's all right
probably had
now.
a
We're
heads
not
up,
messing
yeah.
around. Boom, boom, boom. Every episode, boom, boom, boom. Episode 3 this season, there's a fight in a grocery store, Duncan. I swear to God, it's the most magnificent thing I have ever seen in my life. I have watched that scene maybe 20 times. I love it. It is so well shot, so well directed. The choreography is top notch. I've never seen anything quite like it. It is some of the best action I've ever seen, period, in anything. In any comic book, movie, TV show. These movies, they have $200 million budgets. Stargirl, they don't have that. Okay, you know what they got? They got a potato with a lens in it. That's what they got to shoot the show on because that's all Warner Brothers will give them. And you know what they did with that? They made cinema. They made the best thing that these big studios can't make. They just can't do it. But Stargirl does it. The best fight scenes, the characters, I love them. There's so much development. There's so much love. Oh my gosh, I just want to go to Blue Valley and have myself a time. You know what I'm saying?
Blue Valley?
That's the name of the town. Oh my gosh. So it's superheroes in the suburbs. That's the other thing I love about the show. It's the big city. We have to stop the wormhole and Dr. Poo Poo Face is gonna kill everyone. No. This is the suburbs, okay? Who's moving in next door? Are they a supervillain? Oh my god, it's so good. You have to watch this show. It is some of the best superhero it is the best superhero cinema that has ever come out. Ever. Ever. No one's making shows like this, okay? It's not trying to build some big universe, okay? It's self-contained, it's focused on the characters. Oh my gosh, I love them all. This season was so freaking good. I cannot believe that it was May.
Okay. We've already talked about this longer than I planned, but I have just one question because
Yeah.
you have recommended Stargirl to me 3 times, one for each season when you
Yeah.
reviewed it on this show. And not once have you told me what Stargirl, the person, does. What the heck? Like, what is supposed to be happening in this show?
So her and her stepdad, she basically, her mom gets remarried. She has a stepdad and a stepson. They move to Blue Valley, Nebraska. This show takes place in freaking Nebraska, and it's so good. And so her stepdad used to be the sidekick of Starman, but Starman died, but he still has the staff, and the staff went dormant when Starman died. But for some reason, it works for Courtney. So she decides to become Stargirl, and she goes on this journey of self-discovery. It's such a great coming-of-age movie, our show. I say movie because it's just so cinematic to me. But Duncan, I swear to you, it's so good. It's so heartfelt. You will feel every emotion there is to feel. The best directed action and choreography I've seen in anything superhero related by far. I cannot believe how good this show is. First of all, they did what I've always wanted from a Spider-Man movie that you can't do in a movie, where it's like, this is a girl that's going through high school who just so happens to be Stargirl. She just so happens to be a superhero. But season 2 is called Stargirl Summer School. And it's like, hey, you were being a superhero last year that you failed all your classes. Now you have to be in summer school. And she's got to figure that out. But then Eclipso comes to town and episode 6 of season 2, Eclipso comes, he kicks some ass, but Stargirl, she ain't gonna have it. It's got some great action, brutal violence. I cannot tell you enough that season 3 grocery store fight. I cannot tell you enough.
Eclipso comes to town. Woo!
It is so good. I'm bummed they canceled it. The final episode was very much like, you could tell they shot, like, there was 4 scenes in the final episode where I was like, you definitely shot that just in case you guys got canned. So it definitely feels a little forced at the end. But the show was so good, who cares? It was about the journey. It was never about the end. It was always about the journey and the characters, and it delivers. It's so good. We had a little Stargirl cameo this past week on Titans, and it just made me miss this show even more. And the score by Pinar Topar, so good. The Cosmic Staff, I listen to that stuff coming in when I'm driving to work in the morning, and I'm ready to go and kick some ass.
How is this the movie you've been talking about the longest so far?
Oh, Duncan, you ain't seen nothing yet.
God damn, man. All right. Well, I'm gonna go if you're done.
Of course.
Are you?
HBO Max, it's on there.
I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Banger.
Didn't love it.
Oh, was this your first time watching it?
Yes.
Why didn't you like it? It's such a good movie. I saw that twice in theaters.
Why?
I've watched that movie so many times. I love it.
Okay, so to me, I haven't read any like of the articles explaining why Brad Bingo was secretly Kringo. Like, I don't know any of the deeper meanings of this thing. It's, to me, this was a back and forth between two Hollywood living dipshits.
Oh,
I get that, like, you're supposed to really care about their dynamic, and like I liked it when they were together, but Quentin seems to hate having too many scenes where there's only two characters in it
see, I
in a
love
row.
that though. I like getting to see them interact and get to know each other.
But we keep getting introduced to characters that seem like they're built up to have their own thing, and then they're gone forever. And I don't know why the movie wastes time with that.
I don't think it wastes time, Duncan. I don't know. I really like this movie. I don't get your why you got to be so negative.
I think the plot where Brad Pitt goes, where Margaret Qualley's character takes him to the compound, that was the best part of the movie. I think that should have been expanded and
Oh, the tension in that scene is palpable.
Yeah, it's very well done. Why just, and then we see Leonardo DiCaprio like acting, fake acting, and I didn't get it. And like, Margot Robbie's feet are in the movie, and when I
That's
saw
to
that,
be expected.
When I saw that, I was like, okay, Quentin, you did it. But then Margaret Qualley is sitting in Brad Pitt's car, and her feet are pressed up on the windshield where the camera is.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna put it on screen. I'm sorry to anyone who like didn't want to see that.
Yeah,
he can't get away with 2. He should get his 1. That he demands.
Do you think his final film, which is called The Film Critic or something like that, The Movie Critic, how many feet do you think that movie's going to feature? Do you think it's his last movie?
I think if it's less than 4, I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah. He might just put like a little thing in the bottom corner and it's just a foot montage that has nothing to do with the movie, just because he can.
Yeah, like one of those iPhone apps that help distract people.
Yeah. Well, is that all you have to say on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I guess I wanted to like it because I know you have like a big ass poster of it, and like I know that you loved it, and I went into this like thinking, all right, what is Frank like? And I just, besides the spirit of the industry, I don't know, it just kind of felt like one more Stay Out of California movie.
Oh, that's fair. I'm gonna real quick just bang one out before we take our Zoom break.
Go ahead.
I watched the biopic Whitney Houston. I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it follows the biopic formula, but this movie was. I actually had a really good time with this. I felt like I was at a Whitney Houston concert. The actress who plays Whitney Houston, I am blanking on her name. She played. She was in The Rise of Skywalker. She played the Jaina chick.
Oh
She
yeah.
is spectacular in this movie. She
Good.
made Whitney feel alive, feel real, and I really enjoyed this movie. Again, it's like if you've seen a biopic, you've seen it, but if you're a Whitney Houston fan, it's definitely a must see. I really loved it. I would rewatch it. I think as far as biopics go, I mean, I liked it more than Bohemian Rhapsody. Um, I really enjoyed this. Again, if you're a Whitney Houston fan, it's just you're going to want to sing along and have a good time.
That's good. I'm glad that actress got a chance to shine because Rise of Skywalker did not do that character any justice. And I
I
remember
like The Rise
being,
of Skywalker. I just rewatched it, and it is really good. And I think
we're gonna have a debate night.
yeah,
We're,
we should do a Star Wars episode where we just talk.
I think we need to just have a series where we debate and yell at each other
That's
because
good too. That's good
it's
too.
what it's gonna be anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
I think now's the perfect time for our Zoom break.
all right. Well, everyone get a glass of water or go to the bathroom or get a snack or like get cozier, get a blanket,
Yeah.
mow the lawn or whatever you need to do, and then rejoin us.
Yeah, please do.
All right. Bye. And we're off. We are
We're
in
back,
part
baby.
two.
I have five things left. How many do you have left?
That's a good question, Frank. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
You're going. It's all
I
you.
am because I know what is in your five.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
I watched Plan B, which is
Oh yeah. How was that?
it's a little Hulu movie. I loved it. This it falls under the book smart category of like movies that are just super bad but modern and better. Um, the plot is about again these two kids who one of them might be pregnant and they need the Plan B pill, and
Yeah.
so their friend has to help them like road trip to go get it because it's not available in their state or something. It's illegal, and it's a road trip movie with like a ticking clock, and it's these two kids, and it's so well written. The dynamic is so like spicy. Like you can tell that these kids get along like on and off
Yeah.
set. It was I laughed really hard. It's I fully recommend this to anybody.
Okay. Okay.
Very surprising, very enjoyable.
Um, alrighty. I'm gonna go. I watched the Steven Spielberg movie Bridge of Spies. Uh what's so funny about that?
I've seen this.
What did you think about it?
What happens besides the bridge when they trade?
It's a movie about the human spirit, Duncan. What are you talking
I
about?
scared the cat.
Are
It's
you questioning the greatness of Steve Spielberg?
not necessarily, though I'm not afraid to do it. This movie is about like a hostage trade, right? Like
Yeah.
that is a singular event. And when movies are about single events, they need to dedicate everything into making us care about that single event. And for something as quick as this,
I cared. You know what? I'm assigning you some homework, Duncan.
you don't
I
get to
want
do
you to
that.
watch um
You don't have jurisdiction in my state.
that's okay. I want you to watch I will come to your state and I will sit you down and make you watch this. I want you to watch the Steve Spielberg movie with Tom Hanks in it called The Terminal.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Victor Naborsky. He wants to go home to his
Why
country.
are you referencing a movie I haven't seen that
Well,
you
the
know
audience
I
will
have?
get it. They'll cackle. They'll get a cackle out of that. Um,
It's like you got to
but
watch this movie. Reference and
yeah. Um, yeah, no, I think Bridge of Spies is good. Again, it's not like the most like I don't think it's Spielberg's best movie, but I mean it's really good. It's
it could
better
have been a
than
short film.
my God,
It could have been a really, really good short film.
I think you missed the point.
It's a bridge of spies,
Yeah.
but the bridge is a metaphor.
Yeah, baby. Oh my God, the scene where he's on the train, my heart stopped.
I didn't care because it wasn't a bridge.
We're gonna move on. Duncan, what did you watch?
Let's cross that bridge over to the next one. I watched.
Oh,
Sorry, it's insensitive. I watched the movie This Is the End. The dude bro Seth Rogen,
Seth
James,
Rogen
James Franco, Danny McBride, Jonah Hill, Michael Cera.
running up
It's
that Jonah Hill. Did
That's
you like
really
that?
funny. It's really funny. And I'm trying really hard not to laugh. This movie is like a very classic, like a dude energy kind of a movie. It's about celebrities playing themselves, and then the rapture happens, and none of them are saved,
Hmm.
and they survive a few days in like an apocalypse style stuff, and they do the thing like, oh, there's rations, but like we can't, I'm gonna hold the rations to make sure you guys don't get the rations. And it's, if you've seen any movie like that, the only added value of this movie is that there you recognize the celebrities and they're playing themselves,
Yeah.
and you would hope that they would be self-aware and fun with it. But it seems like the movie's big joke is that in real life the celebrities are way different than what you think they are, so they were just like new characters. And like they made Michael Cera like a playboy asshole,
Yeah.
and like like yeah, I recognize the guy and his name, but like the the
I
equation
didn't know they
doesn't.
played themselves in the movie, or at least like versions of themselves. That's funny.
um the movie ends with a dance montage. That part caught me off guard. uh
Is it good? I've heard people like this movie.
this movie has a certain uniqueness to it that does add a lot of value if you wish to engage with it in that manner.
That's a solid saying. I like that.
If you watch the movie about, and you're thinking about like how the hell did humans evolve and start acting, if you're thinking of it that way and like what is an actor, the movie's good. And
Okay.
otherwise it's very cheesy.
Cheese is good. Cheese is not bad. Well, Duncan, I watched an animated film
No kidding.
that
Oh,
slapped pretty hard, if I don't
I
say
think we have
so.
the same one.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio, baby.
What the hell, this movie was so good.
So good.
And it's Pinocchio.
Yeah.
I The story of Pinocchio is told to death. Like I'm
Yeah.
so tired of it. And it's not even really a story. It's just like events that he
Yeah.
wanders into.
I
And
I
this
like that
movie fixed it.
I love that this movie, for once in a Pinocchio movie's life, was like, let's stay true to those Italian roots, baby.
I didn't expect, I mean, the Disney version didn't touch on fascist Italy. Like I
No!
didn't get that. I didn't get that.
Where was Mussolini? Where was he then? He wasn't going to come and sing in a musical number.
I This movie is so delightful. I almost can't really believe it's a kids movie.
I mean, my parents, I don't think it's a kid's movie.
I don't think so either. I
I
think
mean, my parents watched it and they loved it.
I don't know how anyone could hate this movie. I know
So
some
good.
people must, but like it's just a beautiful like reinvention of a classic story. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. It is good. That's all I have to say on it. I mean, it speaks for itself. I'd say watch it. I know if you're on the fence, like, oh, another Pinocchio movie, just watch it. You'll
Yeah,
love it.
let this be your tipping point. Pinocchio is very good. All right. I watched. Okay,
Oh boy.
I have four things left. Two things I liked, two things I didn't. I want to get one of those out of the way. What should I do?
We have four. I have three. Two of them I'm going to talk about for a very long time.
All right, I can
So
speed through the ones I don't like. So let
I
me do
would, I
those.
would like, I don't want to give two big rambles back to back. So I feel like maybe talk about one.
Okay.
Talk about one.
I watched a movie called The Unicorn. And this movie, put bluntly, is about a three-way.
Is this the Brie Larson movie?
No. No, that's something else unicorn
That's the
related.
Unicorn Store.
Right. Um this is a it's an indie movie and god damn you can tell. Like
Yeah.
it's if you've seen any like low budget indie movie, this is it. Like I and it's about this couple that's like let's spice up our marriage by adding a third. And
Brilliant idea.
yeah, great. And there's a lot of wacky hijinks that go into this rushed idea. Um,
Oh God.
and like it was so
Why is it
funny.
called the Unicorn?
Oh, that's the term for like someone willing to be the bisexual third because
Ew.
it's so rare it's a unicorn. Like it's
Okay.
that's my version to tell you. Um, the the funniest thing, Grace and I were watching the movie and it's Lauren Lapkus and an actor I didn't recognize.
Lauren
And
Lapkus. Why does that ring a bell?
she's a really good actress.
Oh,
Like
who is she?
they must have had some blackmail on her. She does comedy movies. She's a really good bit character. Um,
Oh, what was she in? Oh, she was in Jurassic World.
probably
Oh, I think I know her from The Big Bang Theory.
Lauren Lapkus.
I know why I know her.
Look up The Wrong Missy. She was in that.
I've listened to her podcast before.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know she did one. Anyway, so I remember looking at the actor and I was a little, not sober. And I said to Grace, I do not mean this in a mean way, and I'm not trying to sound mean spirited, but he looks like he wrote the movie. And then the credits rolled, and he was the writer, and it was like, God damn it, it's a self insert. It's a softcore indie self insert about this guy like being too cool and needing a threesome. Like
Mhm.
and at one point, like at the end, they mentioned that this all happened in one night, and I was like, "Bull fucking shit! This whole thing happened in one
Uh-huh.
night." The amount of time, I just that's a hate watch. If you want to watch something and get irrationally angry, watch that. But it was very like well made, for an indie film. Like they obviously put a lot of care
Yeah.
into what they
I
thought
like
was
indie
good.
films. I
It's
support the
yeah,
people.
it's got a heart, a unicorn heart. So that's it.
Well, I got to talk about a movie. And Duncan,
Oh yes, you do.
I just want to do one right thing before this podcast ends. I watched The Whale.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah,
I was shocked to learn that they don't call him the whale. I thought that was the character's name. I thought everyone just called him the whale.
you thought the character's name was the whale?
I thought his name was good. I like a nickname. Like they're gonna say, "Oh, the whale." because whenever they promoted this movie, it was just white text that said the whale. I never saw a
Yeah.
trailer or anything. I just saw that picture of Brendan Fraser looking
It's that
off.
same goddamn picture. Yeah.
It's the same
Everywhere.
picture, and it just says the whale. So I was like, oh, he must be the whale. That's got to be his nickname. He's not the whale.
He's not the whale?
This movie's spectacular. It's so
Who's
good. I
who's the
cried.
whale?
I cried. I cried during the freaking whale. I was wailing during the whale.
All right. Funny,
This
clever.
movie ends, and literally everybody in the theater, you just heard sniffling. You just heard sniffling, Duncan.
No applause.
Everyone was too sad to clap. This movie will break your heart, repair it, and then break it again. It's so good. It's so powerful. The performances are dynamite. You got freaking Brendan Fraser just killing it. You got Hung Chao, who is, oh my gosh, HBO's Watchmen, The Menu, and now The Whale. Hung Chao, whatever you're in next, I'm there. I'm first in line. I'm
Oh
there
yeah.
for you.
Good track record.
And then Sadie Sink.
Yeah.
The year of Sadie Sink. Who saw that
The
coming?
Strange Thing. Yeah.
Hey, stranger things have happened. I want Stranger Things to end
Me
with
too. Oh.
with they defeat whatever big bad, and then they're all walking down the street reminiscing,
And then like a car hits him.
someone trips and a quarter falls out of their pocket and it lands upright. This is the last scene of this show. A quarter lands upright, and then someone says, "That's odd." And then Steve turns on and goes, "I don't know. I've seen stranger things." And then they play the song "Strange Things" from Toy Story.
Not even their theme song.
Strange things are happening. And then the show ends. That's how you end it. Series finale. Cut the check, baby. But yeah, The Whale is fantastic. It had me crying. It's so emotional. It's just like it's one of those movies where it takes place in one location. And
adapted
you
from
all
a
know
play, right?
The what?
Adapted from a play.
Adapted from a play. It is spectacular. And powerhouse performances you're not going to see anywhere else. Highly, highly, highly recommend.
Is it? How sad? How sad are we talking?
It's sad. You're gonna cry. You're gonna cry.
Okay, so I should not seek this out looking for like a good fun time movie.
No, not The Whale.
Oh
Not
my
The Whale.
God, buy a muffler.
Oh my gosh, I almost broke my freaking look how cool this is. What do you call this? The thing you put your drink on?
A coaster?
Look how cool this coaster is. It's got Obi-Wan and the eyes of Vader.
It's a cool stylistic thing. Yeah.
It's cool. I love it.
All right. Well, I mean, you had a whale of a time watching the movie. Is there
I had a
anything
whale
else?
of a time. Hey, stranger things have happened. Okay.
Oh.
What
Um, all right. I watched one final cheesy rom-com for the year. It's
Wrap
called
it up, baby. Let's get
and
it.
don't laugh at the name. It's called Love Hard. Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
I'm sweating. What's it about? What's it about?
So you'll never believe this. You can't laugh during this entire plot. So there's this good-natured, kind-hearted woman who just can't seem to settle down with a good man. And she's tried dating everyone in her local area. So she talks to her neighbor who talks about online dating. And she's like, well, I guess I'm out of options. So I'll try that. And she. Hold on.
What is this? Are we getting a spreadsheet up?
Nope. Yep. So she meets the perfect guy on Tinder or Bumble Switch or whatever they want to call it to not get sued. And he's just like, he's a dreamboat. He's interesting. He has all these cool activities. And she decides that, you know what? If I'm going to love, I'm going to love hard. Don't laugh.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Why not? And
Continue.
so
Continue.
she decides to surprise fly out to his
Oh
state
no.
and see him. Because you know what?
No.
She feels it here. She feel it's real. She finally found a real
She
one.
does love hard.
She's a love harder kind of person. And it turns out that the person she thought she was talking to is actually a short Asian man who lives in a basement of his parents.
How, what would you rate this out of 10?
Like -3.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is not good. That wasn't even funny. That was just
Because
like,
then the Asian guy who's Jimmy Chu, he's a really good actor. But there's so many like jokes about him being Asian. Like
I
that's
was gonna
the
say, does this
punch.
movie have racist undertones? That's
Yeah,
I was gonna say, you had me almost laughing, and then you said that, and I felt like the carpet was pulled from beneath me. I was like, that sounds horrific.
but
Wait,
I can get it back because he says that okay, so the person in the profile is his friend that he was like using to catfish. So he says that he will set this woman up with the actual man of her dreams if she pretends to be his girlfriend in front of his parents. It's that kind of movie. Do you want to take a shot at how it ends, Frank?
does she fall in love with the Asian man?
Yes.
Yeah.
After an hour of just the most bland, predictable comedy, she falls in love with the
Remember
catfish.
when this was a happy show when we were talking about the Muppets?
But hey, you know what? That's it. I'm done. That was it.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
last cheesy rom com that I watched
It's time to cook, baby. It's time to
in
cook.
2022.
It's
Yes.
time to cook. Steve Spielberg last year, he delivered us. He said, "You know that Oscar-winning classic West Side Story? I'm just gonna make it again, but make it a million times better." And he did. He served, he came, he cooked, and he didn't leave as crumb. Okay, he cooked, he ate, he served.
Stop saying he cooked, he ate crumbs. Stop making this a food thing.
Okay, so he comes back this year. And he's like, "You thought Stevie Steve was done? Stevie Steve was just getting started. Stevie Steve was just preheating the oven, okay?
I
Now it's
can't
time to
get.
bake." And Stevie Steve delivered The Fablemans, my
Here we
second
go.
favorite movie of 2022.
Oh, the second favorite.
Oh,
Oh, I
oh
wonder
yeah.
what it lost to. Talk about the
Oh
Fablemans.
baby. The Fablemans is a somewhat autobiographical story about Steven Spielberg's childhood and the heart and soul. This was the movie. Steven Spielberg made every movie he's ever made in order to make this movie. This is the movie he was destined to make from the beginning. It is so heartfelt.
About himself?
It is so gut wrenching. It is so bold. The visual storytelling is on another level. You're not seeing anything like this anywhere from anyone. The acting, the charisma, the music, everything about this. Duncan, there were scenes in this movie where I felt like I was watching moments from my own life. I cried 5 times in the theater watching this. I had to drive all the way to frickin', first of all, I live in Los Angeles. And the fact that I have to drive all the way to frickin' Sherman Oaks because no theater wants to play a Steven Spielberg movie is absolutely ridiculous. I had to drive to Sherman Oaks, but you know what? I'm not complaining because it was glorious. I've seen this movie 3 times since release. You know how I spent my Valentine's Day this year? You know how I spent it? The
How?
Fablemans came out on Blu-ray, so I went out, I bought the Blu-ray, and then I got myself some Panda Express, and I ate it an ugly cry while watching the Fablemans. The Fablemans is so good. Duncan, again, Universal Pictures slapping. They're slapping. Um, I cannot tell you how good The Fablemans is. It's so good. It's so joyous. It's a movie I always want to see Steven Spielberg make. I'm like, what is he? Where does he go from here? Where does he go? He's cooking. He's cooking. I'm telling you, this man, he's never been more just like the juices are flowing. You can see it. It's all happening. His style, his storytelling, his his love for cinema is just so palpable. It's so lovable. I can't even. Oh, it's so good.
What's it about? Like what happens in it?
It's just about him and learning to accept like his childhood, and it's I can't even describe the plot, Duncan. You're just watching a scene from life. You're
I
just
know
watching
that's what
like
it sounds like. It sounds
it's
like
so
kind of like a
beautiful.
boyhood slice of life growing up kind of
It is
movie.
kind of like a boyhood slice of life sort of thing. Yeah.
And you are probably in you're probably in the top 100 Steven Spielberg fans in
Baby, when
of
I
the
went,
world.
I had my ET shirt on. I had my West Side Story hoodie. I stayed till the end of the credits. I waited till the light house lights came up, and I walked out, and there was this old lady, and she goes, "Sweetheart, what did you think about that movie?" And I said, "I think that's one of the best movies I've seen all year." She goes, "I thought it was just hot, woman."
It's really sweet.
Oh my gosh, so sweet.
Had like a moment with a stranger. That's
Oh
cute.
my gosh, yes.
But like okay, so you're in the top 100 fans, right? I get it. I'm not.
You'll still love it.
Am I
Watch
going to
it. You'll
like
still
really
love it.
love this?
Yes. Have you ever had a dream, Duncan?
Oh my god.
Have you ever had a dream?
You motherfucker.
Have you ever had a dream?
Yes, I've had a dream.
Okay. And has anyone ever told you that you can't achieve that dream?
No.
Has anyone ever said, Duncan, you know what? I think you can achieve that dream. And they pushed you to go to do more than you thought you ever could?
Sure. I've had support.
The Fablemans is the movie for you, baby. It's the movie for you. You will relate to this movie. You will cry. You will experience life through this lens that is so gorgeous. And I just, oh my gosh, Steven Spielberg, what a man, what a myth, what a legend. I cannot. The man's cooking, baby. He's cooking.
Is that all you had
That's
to
all.
say?
Watch the Fablemans. Just watch it.
All right, strong recommendation from Frank. Okay, the last thing I watched. I'm gonna get two out of the way just because they're
Let's do it.
you have one left, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm finishing before that. I watched the TV show Normal People, which this made every cheesy bad rom-com I've seen this year completely worth it because this was the most intimate and emotional love story I've ever seen. Like I this it's a TV show, right? So it's about these two people who come together and then they like go their own separate ways and then they just end up around each other again and it just keeps happening and it's like life is trying to get them to be together but like it's really good. It's what's his name, Paul Mescal,
Okay.
he's and then Daisy Edgar Jones, I think.
Oh yeah.
Those two were kissing in the movie trailer because their chemistry is insane. Like it's
Sometimes you just got to smooch in the movie trailer, baby.
all right. It's weird when
That's
you
what you
say it.
said.
It's
Wait, that's
weird
what
when
you
you say
said.
it.
What was wrong with what I said?
I don't know. You're around movie trailers. It makes it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say that.
Um.
Just for the audience, I have not smooched anyone in a movie trailer.
Yeah. It's very good. Normal People. It broke my heart. And if you are like a crier kind of a person, I
You know
don't
I
recommend.
am.
I don't recommend this. Like unless you are fully prepared, because it's
Okay.
holy shit. Like it's whoever like I don't know, it's just so good. And then the last thing I have is a sleeper hit. I had no idea this was going to be this amazing. Uh it's called the Adult Swim Yule Log. And like it's advertised as if it is one of those Yule log videos that you just
Yeah.
put on your TV and have in the background. And for the first like minute and a half, it is. And then you start hearing people in the room and they're like talking to each other and people are like walking by the camera and then you find out that what's happening is someone is filming a Yule log video And so it's a fixed camera perspective for the entire first half of the movie. And like, this is so good. Like,
Uh-huh.
Adult Swim. So, like, right, like it's an Airbnb, and
Yeah.
there's a maid cleaning it. And then as she's cleaning it, right, like these two crazies come in and murder her, like just butcher.
Oh, dang.
And then they hear footsteps, so they hide. And you can see in the reflection of one of the items in on the fireplace mantle, you can see through the reflection of like where they hid. So like you know where they are, even though it's not in frame. And like these two people come in because it's an Airbnb and like they booked it. And then right, more people show up because it was a double booking. And they start interacting with each other, and it's this fixed perspective, and you know that there's like a butcher in the back room.
Yeah.
And then at that midway point, the movie says, fuck it, no more realism. And the rest of it is like a bizarre, weird, like fever dream of a movie because it's about, well, first of all, there's like aliens that show up and like witches. So like it turns into like a pretty goofy movie. But it
Does it
has
turn into an extremely goofy movie?
no, it does not.
Oh.
Um
10 minutes? Oh
I'll
no.
wrap it up and then you'll have your thing. Um it seems to imply that like because eventually it starts like sliding back in time and the screen will wipe and it's like the ninth or the 1700s, and it's these people talking around the same fireplace,
Mm.
and then it's the fireplace in different eras and like different murders that happened there, all leading up to the like some guy has a drug trip and he crawls into the fireplace, and like not really but like he meets a little man in there, and like the event, like this movie is so incredibly good. The final scene is haunting. Like
I kind of want to watch this
I
now.
will be thinking about it for the rest of my life. I
I want to
accident
watch this.
it's
Is it on HBO?
yeah,
I'm watching
free to
it.
like the Adult Swim Yule log. So good. Okay, now Frank, our meeting ends in 8 minutes. Do you want to just like stop and then like call again so you can have your uninterrupted time?
I was gonna say I think we're gonna need more than 8 minutes to talk about some powerful
Oh
cinema. So
God, that's
I told you
crazy to
guys
me.
December was gonna be the longest episode.
You
So this is
warned
the
us,
first time
yeah.
we've ever had to do a third or second Zoom break. So
Yeah.
we'll talk to you soon.
Oh my God, we're doing it.
Get
History.
ready.
The things I do to make him happy. I can't wait to see his face when he logs on. He's gonna scream, probably. Any minute now. I hope the bit is worth it. I sent him the link. I sent him the. What the hell could? What the hell else could he be doing? Oh God, I was worried my hair would not survive the green screen. Where is he? He said he was ready. Oh, if he's preparing a bit of his own. Oh, if we're gonna have clashing bits, that's gonna be. Oh boy, who knows what'll happen. Where's the avatars? There they are. They're down there. That's how you know this is a legit. Still not here, still just me. If you made it this far into the podcast, thank you. You are a
Oh my gosh. I love it. Um, so what are we doing again? I have to talk about the last movie on my list, right?
uh-huh.
I can't see my list too well on here. I
Get it over with.
can't see too well. Is that, let me change my glasses out. Is that okay, let's see.
Wow, great bit.
Here my desk. Oh gosh, what movie could it be? I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. Baby, it's Avatar, The Way of Water. You know, it's Avatar, The Way of Water. I've been talking about this nonstop. I've been waiting. I watched that trailer nonstop. Oh my gosh, the music in that trailer, the motif. So good. It's so good. And Duncan, the movie finally came, and I was there opening weekend. I saw it twice. I saw that sucker twice on opening weekend. First, I saw it in 4DX as every man should, because that is on the way of becoming a man. You know, the chair shake. And I said before, and I'll say it again. I've never been more at peace in my life than not when the chairs are rotating. There's a fan in my face, some light mist, and I'm watching Jake Sully ride a banshee across Pandora, and I am just like, I'm at peace. Duncan, what's your history with the Avatar franchise?
I watched the first movie when it came out.
What were your thoughts?
Uh I thought it was like blue action movie, cool. And then later I was like, oh, that was a metaphor for like environmentalism.
Hell yeah. I like you got your listen, you got the rocks of Pandora behind you. So I gotta talk, first of all, the technology. Jimmy James Cameron. He's like, if James is gonna make you wait 10 years for the technology, you know the technology is gonna be
God.
good. This movie looks incredible. The scenes with the water, there's scenes where there's a boat on fire and it's at night and the fires are reflecting off the water and these characters are coming up and down and these little beads of water are coming off the characters. And there's humans that are in the CGI
Right.
environment, but they look seamless. Like they look like they just belong there. There's not one bad shot in this movie.
Not one.
No. So I saw this movie 4DX, and there's a scene near the beginning where it's raining. And I was like, oh, they must have water going in the theater because I can see the rain and stuff. Then I saw it in just regular 3D, and I thought it was leaking in the theater. I was like, oh no, that's just the movie.
So the movie's so good it tricked you. Is that what
So
I'm
good. Duncan, this movie's so good. Character work is spectacular. It's again, it's a sort of a reintroduction of the franchise, so it's a little beat for beat like the first movie, but they expand on stuff. Jake Sully has a
beat
family
for
now,
beat?
not beat for beat, but Jake Sully has a family now. And Quaritch, he's coming, and he goes, "Jakey, old boy, I'm gonna beat your ass." And he crushes a skull in his hand. He's such a badass. I love Quaritch. Um,
What's his name?
Quaritch.
Can you spell that for me? I just
I can't. I honestly can't.
Quaritch?
Yeah, he's iconic. You know, you're not in Kansas anymore. He's just so great.
I don't
Um,
think he came up with that.
and him and Jake Sully's like relationship in this movie, like they're about to like kick each other's asses. And then there's this kid named Spider, and I don't want to spoil anything, but Spider I thought was cool. Sigourney Weaver comes back, but she plays the daughter of Jake Sully this time around. But she has some connections to the character that she played in the first Avatar. I won't get into that again for spoilers. But they were setting stuff up for sequels without being overbearing. Duncan, there's a whale in this movie. A whale, not the whale, a whale.
Right.
And
The
it just
movie's
wants to
about
do
whales.
one good thing with its life. You know? And this whale is given an arc. and it's beautiful.
I've seen nature documentaries do that. Like,
No, but this whale has an arc, okay? And this whale has a scene. I fist pumped in the middle of the theater. I fist pumped for the whale. One whale made me cry. This whale made me fist bump, baby.
they were different whales.
I'm talking about the whale versus this whale.
My God.
The whale made me cry. This whale made me. You know what I'm talking about?
Barely.
I love
I
spaceships, Duncan. Did you know that? Did you know I love spaceships? This movie has spaceships and they're cool. Oh my gosh. And this movie is the culmination of James Cameron's filmography. There's Terminator in there. There's aliens because the people they drive these suits and they're like mech suits, but the way they move are like spiders. So they're in it and they're going like this, and
I
it's
thought
so good.
I thought Spider was a guy.
And then it's like Titanic because there's a boat at the end and the boat is sinking and they're going to drown and they have to swim through the water, but they have to learn the way of water first. And this movie, oh my gosh, every time this movie goes underwater, I felt like I almost held my breath. I was like, I'm there, I'm with them. I was like, I see you. And that's what they do in the movie, Duncan. It's so good. And they have to learn to connect with the other tribes. Apparently, in the third, there's going to be a fire tribe. I'm like, let's go, baby.
Well, yeah,
And
what comes after water?
James Cameron has teased that in Avatar 4, they're going to go back to Earth and it is going to be bananas. Can you imagine Jake Sully on Earth as a big blue 9 foot tall man?
He should go to New York and have a bunch of wacky hijinks.
He should. He should. He should say, hey, I'm Avatar in here. I love this movie. It lived up to the hype. It exceeded the hype. Duncan, when are you going to watch this movie? First of all, if you can still see this in a theater, you need to go see it in 3D.
I don't think it's in any theaters.
I'm going to find a theater in your area. I'm going to buy you a ticket and say, hope you don't have plans this Friday afternoon.
Don't you dare.
I'm going to.
Okay,
I'm
going
to do it.
I'm in the camp of people who saw Avatar when it came out and was like, all right, not bad. And then later, when we heard that it was getting a sequel, and not just one sequel, but 4, like the movie is pretty self-contained, which is a compliment. And the idea that it needed 4 more entries.
Yes. Duncan, I would watch 20 more of these. So the rumor, oh my God. So the rumor is that James Cameron's Avatar 3 is 6 hours long, but the studio doesn't want to release a 6 hour long movie. So the rumor is that they're going to make him do a 3 hour theatrical cut, but then the 6 hour cut, they're going to do all the VFX for, and it's going to be available on Disney Plus.
Oh,
can you imagine that? 6 hours on Pandora? Take me away, baby.
Justice League made me sit for 4 hours, and I did that for you. And you're asking me to do 6?
Did you rewatch the first Avatar?
No, I was talking about Justice League. It was 4 hours.
Yeah, it was cinema. It was so good.
And that was too long. And now you want me to do 6?
That wasn't long enough. Give me more. Give me the 5 hour cut. Give Zacky Snacky the keys to the kingdom again.
Okay, what I was trying to say is, does this movie?
Yes, it does. It does.
Does it justify its need for a sequel?
Yes.
How?
You have to watch it.
I knew it.
Duncan, it's so good. It's all about the character. Zoe Saldana is on fire in this movie. And the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, she's not in it that much. That's kind of a bummer. Then I watched it the second time, I'm like, oh, but when she's in it, like there's a scene where she goes on a rampage, and it's insane. I thought she was gonna kill Kid. It's Avatar, baby. It's Avatar. It's Avatar.
Oh, but okay. Because it has been so long since I watched the movie when it came out, I don't know these characters.
Rewatch it. You got Disney Plus.
I feel like I've seen other things with all of those character traits done better.
No, you haven't. You have not. You watch Avatar something. Oh, and the water tribe in this, you know what the way they call each other, their little signals going, woo! And I could relate to that. I felt that in my soul when they did that.
So it's interesting you brought that up. I did some research, and there is a controversy surrounding this movie.
No, there's not.
There
What's the
is.
controversy?
Um,
I love this movie.
so there's a lot of like
Don't make me
tribe
don't
talk and a
of
lot of
what?
like tribe and like
Yeah,
the natives and like there's some things that draw very heavily from other races, let's say.
yeah,
A lot of the Navi have like braided braids like specifically in their
yeah.
hair, and there's a lot of like tribal decoration.
I don't understand though, because to me it's more of an appreciation. It's not trying to
Right,
appropriate.
right. The scandal comes in because they were all played by white people.
Oh, were they?
Like everyone in the movie, yeah.
Well, I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, they could have done better, and maybe they will in the sequels. You don't know. Um,
Fair, yeah, fair, I guess.
but that's a fair criticism.
But then it's blue aliens, so like part of me, it's nuanced, But
Yeah,
um, yeah, so I didn't see it out of solidarity.
you should watch it. It's so good. It's so good.
What is the way of water? Is it like some?
Okay. Oh my gosh,
Is it
I
some
can't tell
like
you what the way of water. That's like me
holistic?
telling you what the whale is.
But like the way of water?
The way of the water tribe, because they have to learn the ways of the water. They have to
Is
learn
it
to adapt
Avatar
because
way
the
of
Navi are
the
the
water?
forest people. The Navi are the forest people, and they have to go to the Mekhyena tribe in this one. And the Mekhyena tribe, they are the water people, so they must learn the way of the water. They have to stop fighting the water. They have to become one with the water. They have to flow with the water.
Oh my god. Is this going to be Avatar?
What do you mean? It is Avatar.
Is this going to be Avatar the Last Airbender?
No, baby. No, baby. It's going to be better.
Earth in the first one, water in the second one. They're going to the fire tribe in
Going
the third.
fire.
It's an elemental story about Avatar. Like, can you justify that? Like, what's
Yeah. Technically, the blue Avatar came first because they had that's the reason. Because the Avatar: The Last Airbender was supposed to be called Avatar, but they couldn't because it was already Jamie James Cameron had the copyright, which he had in the '90s. He wrote the script in the '90s. So I hate to tell you, but Avatar was first.
you can? I mean, I don't care what came first. I care what did it
It kind of
best.
sounds it kind of sounds like you do. It kind of I can't lie.
Okay, the Avatar with James Cameron, that it didn't seem to have any reason why it needs to touch on all the elements. And it feels like with all of these sequels, it's like they
It's
could
not
have
touching on
gone,
elements. It's touching on tribes, and the different tribes live in different geographical areas, so they have evolved with those. So it's a genetic thing. They get
sure.
into this in the movie because the water tribe, the Mekhyena, they have thicker tails, and then they're making fun of the forest people because they have thinner tails. And so, like, one of them grabs and goes, "Oh, what's this?"
Oh my God, is this movie about racism?
A little bit, yeah. It is a little bit, but it's about
I
coming
don't want to be
together.
told about racism by James Cameron. Can I just put that out there? Like,
It's so good. It is such a masterpiece of filmmaking and visual storytelling, and
visuals,
just the
I
visual effects.
completely understand because James Cameron is a visionary when it comes to technical film.
I'm going to
I
show you. I'm going to show you, and this is the way James Cameron meant for this to be shown. A screen grab from Twitter on my phone that I'm showing you through my laptop camera on the
All
Zoom
right.
call. It's going to look great. Look how beautiful that is.
What am I looking at?
That's Jake Sully in the waters of Pandora. There's a boat on fire behind him. He's with his family. There's blood on his face. He's got to fight Quaritch for his family's honor. Look at that, Duncan. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look
it's
how
high. It's
beautiful
a high
the
res
fire themes,
photo.
the lighting, the composition, the visual storytelling. There's so much soul in this film. Oh, and the score, Duncan. The music, it overtakes you. It's so swelling. It's so beautiful. It's so romantic. I loved it.
So couldn't I just watch like a nature documentary about the
No,
ocean and get
no,
like,
no, no, no.
isn't this about
Gotta watch
whaling?
Avatar: The Way of Water. This is gonna happen.
Is this about whaling? Because the last one was about strip mining and deforestation. Is this about
This one
whaling?
has some, it has those nature elements to it. There's definitely some stuff in there that they're using to set up a sequel with the whales.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Are they going to use the fire Navi to like forge iron, do you think?
I have no idea.
They're
I
going to make
doubt
like a
it.
big
They're
furnace
not
out of them?
firebenders, Duncan. They just live in geographical areas that are going to be covered in ash, James Cameron said. So everyone's assuming it's going to be, they're going to be like the fire Navi and they're going to be red. That'd be sick. That would be sick.
You can make them red now using Photoshop. Just do a color switch if
Duncan,
you care
you're
that
missing
much.
the point. You're missing the point.
I get it. I get it. You're engrossed in this world,
This
but
was supposed to be the Avatar Way of Water spectacular, and you're ruining it.
I just I just don't know why this is the franchise that gets this treatment. Like of all of them, I wouldn't
Okay,
expect.
this was one of the biggest movies of all time.
Okay,
I just took my glasses.
because of the technology it did. Like it was 3D.
And the
Like
story. Duncan, do you really think people care about technology? Do you really think they care about they're gonna say, oh, I better go see this movie because the advancement in technology? You think people are rushing to no.
I think people saw the movie because it was like a well-marketed action movie. I do not understand how it made that much money. I will
Because it's so freaking good, Duncan.
Good movies don't make that much money. Like
It
this,
is a
it's something.
cultural cornerstone of this country.
The country.
Well, I would say of the world, because I mean it's just going bananas everywhere. I got Avatar fever, baby. Paint me blue, stretch me out to be 9 feet tall, and put me under the tree of souls. You know what I'm saying?
That's the third time you've said that on this podcast.
I'll say it again. I
I
loved
just
Avatar.
You have Avatar fever, but like for what? Like what of it? What part?
It's the world building, it's the characters. I love the characters so much, Duncan. They're so well written.
I mean,
Jake Sully's
tell
a
me
family
about
man.
that. Tell me about that.
Quaritch is so good, and he's a little of a cliche, campy villain in this. He's like, you know what? Jake Sully killed me. I'm gonna beat his ass. And so
Sorry, could you say
that's
that
his whole
again?
thing. He
Jake
says,
Sully
Jake Sully
killed
killed
me?
me. I'm gonna beat his ass.
How is he back if Jake Sully killed
Maybe you
him?
gotta watch Avatar: The Way of Water.
I don't even remember if like does he die?
He
Like
does die.
doesn't his mech
Oh
suit
my gosh.
fall?
So Jake Sully's wife, oh my God, what's her name? Why am I blanking? Natiri.
Natiri?
She shoots him in the heart. And I guess everyone's seen this movie except you. So minor spoilers for you, Duncan, not anyone else, because they've all seen it because we have a classy audience. Quaritch is now in an avatar's body. He sees his decomposed human body, and he grabs the skull of his body and crushes it in his hand. And then he
Why?
sees the bow of Natiri's bow that's inside him. And then they visually play with those bows. So like he'll be walking in the forest where Natiri was hunting, and he'll see the arrow, and you feel the rage, baby. He's ready.
So he was an avatar, but his body got killed?
His body got killed, but they had a backup of his consciousness that they loaded into an avatar that they created of him as a backup.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess if you can upload consciousness, like you could probably hit copy paste.
I
Yeah,
miss
all right.
Michelle Rodriguez in this one too. She's spectacular, and I love her.
What does she do?
Well, she was Trudy in the first one.
Trudy?
Yeah, baby.
I don't know these characters.
Oh
Jake
my God.
Sully, well, like, what does he do?
What doesn't he do? He's a hero to the people. He's the bridge of Spies. Oh my God, full circle. But no, he is the bridge between the avatars and the humans, and he's the reason they can live in harmony together.
Right.
It's really
Aang.
beautiful.
That's what Aang did.
No, it's not what Aang did.
It just sounds like there's two Avatar franchises that are way too similar.
I don't think so. I think they're very different. Duncan, first of all, you're commenting on a movie that you said yourself you haven't seen in a long time and you haven't seen since,
But I'm
right?
remembering it now as we're talking. It's coming back to me.
Duncan, I need you to watch this. I need you to
Okay,
watch the
yeah,
first Avatar, and then I
fine.
need you to watch The Way of Water, and then we can have a conversation.
I've already promised that I am going to rewatch Avatar. I will get to that.
I think we have to end the podcast here because there's no way anybody's listening this long.
Yeah, people who put this on to fall asleep, like they're out.
If you watch this full thing through, we love you.
Yeah.
Um,
So Frank, what would you give Avatar: The Way of the Water out of 10?
12 out of 10 best movie ever made.
Better than E.T.?
No, E.T. is God.
All right,
But
well, you heard it
January's
here
coming.
first.
The January episode's going to slap too. I just like to say that.
What's
Um,
happening then?
well, I embark on a journey, and you will have to wait to hear what journey that is.
I
A
know what the
cinematic.
journey is.
I don't think you do.
No, you've told me.
What is that?
I'm not saying.
Say it, because I
No,
don't think.
if you've got this big thing hyped up, I'm
No,
not gonna say
reveal it right now. Reveal it right now.
I'm not gonna reveal your
No, because you
thing.
don't know what it is. What is it?
We're wasting podcast time. Like, okay, you have said it's either going to be the Ethan Hawkathon where you go through
We
his
already did the
filmography,
hawkathon.
sure, or it's Steven Spielberg's entire filmography.
Don't spoil it. Shh.
It
Okay,
sounds like you've
we have a
seen it
big
this
reveal in the
year.
January episode. I didn't
Okay,
think I told you. Okay.
you did. Oh my God. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope this is as special to you as it is to us. We appreciate you. We're gonna do more.
Yes.
Um,
We're gonna end it here. This is the longest episode we've ever done.
oh, you think? Yeah,
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
setting a new record. All right. Well, what's an Avatar way to sign off? What's like a
We love you and we see you.
oh God, that's it? That's what they say. We see
That's what they
you.
say. I see you.
All right. Well, thanks guys. I see you.